Crystal Veins, let's go. Might be time to craft a higher fizz damage weapon. I don't know if swapping to Cyclone this early is the play in terms of speed. But I'll probably swap as soon as possible just because I like to spin. And with this shit gear already, I feel pretty good defensively. I can't wait till we get the new tree. Is that Tumult? It's just normal Cyclone. Tumult is not going to be something that I probably play with until I get the Stampede boots, so I'll probably be going normal Cyclone on League launch, and then whenever I pick up Stampede, I'll swap to Tumult. The mana cost is way higher, even on live right now. So yeah, we have a smaller radius with our Cyclone too. Really the goal behind me testing this right now is just to kind of see how it feels prior to them introducing the buff gems with more damage, and how less tanky it's probably going to feel compared to when we have better block. But we're still early on in the axe. I don't think this is going to start to feel good. Like, swapping to Cyclone this early is probably not the best. It's probably better to do it like after Act 5 in the second half of the campaign, but I don't mind leveling longer if it means I get to spin. Yeah, it's not great. I'm also simulating this right now with, like, I crafted some really shitty gear. So we're just talking like a really low fizz DPS weapon, and then just like life and resistances and 4 links. So I'm trying to make this like, my flasks aren't even rolled. So I'm just trying to simulate like as close to a League launch as possible. I've been revising my POVs in the video link description. So I posted like a more updated POV, or I like updated the POV URLs like 2 or 3 hours ago. I'm pretty happy with the starter version of the build now. Like, I think it's probably, I won't be tweaking that anymore. I really want to play around with the mid-game version because I'm not too happy with like what it looks like once we go crit. It's currently sitting at like, I crafted some more realistic gear and updated the well, right now my movement speed is all I have for movement speed is 13% on my boots. So like I have just a base of 13% movement speed right now, and then when you Cyclone, right, it's putting me in the negative. Now if I use my flask, you know, I'm getting a bit of the Quicksilver when I Cyclone, But you're not going to always have 100% Quicksilver uptime while you're leveling, you know, unless you're using multiple. Is that Forbidden Jewel necessary for endgame? So it's not necessary, but to get the build to be really tanky, I think like Forbidden Flame Flesh is the way to go with the new Gladiator Ascendancy, because especially when you're like bossing, we're gonna have more than enough defense without it, but like what I'm thinking is like when I'm doing T17 maps and I'm juicing them, or I'm doing like 100% Delirious, right? You're always going to have up your flasks, so we're always gonna have roomies, and with that and the jewels, we're going to be at almost 90% attack and spell block, and I think that's going to make us feel really comfy and defensive when we're doing like juiced maps later on. You know, there's a big difference between having 65% attack and spell block versus almost 90 with endurance charges on top of that. I'm also moving kind of slow because I'm not like I'm not actively using my my Quicksilver as much as I should be, to be fair. I'm kind of dumb, so if I have to like talk and play the game at the same time, I'm pretty terrible. Yeah, but movement, that's why I'm thinking like it might be better to swap to Cyclone in a couple more acts once you you get access to better movement speed. Because with the Quicksilver, it's putting us just over, I think, 0. With like a shitty craft on boots. Miss Old Thunder was such a dream to level with. Yeah. I'm not gonna, so I was playing like Frostblades and Double Strike earlier, like Act 1 through 3. And it felt pretty good. Like Frostblades does really great for clear, and Double Strike was slapping on like campaign bosses. So, but there's like many different skills you can use to level. You don't have to like just do that. You could do Sunder. Okay, where am I going? We need to go like all the way back this way, I think. I think I need to go all the way to the left. Ground Slam is great. Yeah, that's a good one too. Ground Slam, the alt version is going to be for sure the meta this league with slam builds. I was trying to find a build guide for Bladestorm, but I guess no one likes the skill. I saw a great build, I think it was Captain Lance, he did like a Bladestorm General's Cry a few months ago, and it was like pretty good. I have a friend that wants to play General's Cry actually this league, and I was recommending like the Bladestorm variant. Around which act do you swap to Cyclone?
Let us see if you truly understand what it means.
Boss is starting.
Nightmare.
So doing this testing and stuff, I'm kind of feeling like I would probably swap to Cyclone later on and not this early. So maybe like Act 6. But it's hard to say because like everything right now is worse than what it's going to be, right? Our gems are doing less damage. Our mana recovery isn't as good. Like it's going to, just as a baseline, this is all going to feel better in 2 days because it's just playing any melee is going to be better. So you got to kind of I have to kind of take this with a grain of salt right now. But defensively, I feel fine. Like, I was just stood on Calm there. And I have like shit gear. It's just... Probably do lab soon so I can actually get some Slayer shit going. And I need to look at the POB. It's a little weird right now doing speccing because like we have the old skill tree and I'm looking at the new one from the build guide I put together. Do you think this build is going to farm simulacrums? I think that once you get to the once you convert to crit and you start, I think like you could start farming simulacrums. I won't know how defensive the build feels until we play with it. Yeah, because like if I load up the mid game one now, it looks like on paper it's gonna be pretty beefy, but won't know until we actually play it. I think people are freaking out more than they need to about the physical max hit on the POB. Like they're like, oh, it's really low. It's not super high, but like, you know, if you have like around 20,000 or higher max fizz hit, you're doing pretty good, because like a Shaper Slam is 14,000, and you're not gonna be taking 14,000 fizz hits when you're mapping. So but that's one of the things I do want to kind of fix on the later versions, is the starter build has way more fizz max hit capability than the later versions. I have totems, and I'm trying not to place them down because we're not going to have totems, but like I guess we're going to have war banners, so I should be putting my totems down for a boost. The damage feels pretty good on uniques. Where am I going again? Yeah, I went the wrong way. I am not a leveling pro, by the way. So I wouldn't be watching this thinking like I'm doing anything efficient when it comes to leveling. It's been like 2 months since I've leveled a character, and I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing now. It's kind of funny when you don't play a game for like a little bit. Here we go. Just all this stuff. Mini bosses, go. Fucking deleted him. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm very happy with the damage as it is right now. That's pretty crazy. It's only gonna get better. That's how we do against a real boss. Alright, I think we're gonna go do lab real quick. We'll go knock that out. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Yep, we're going that way first. Do we get anything interesting? It doesn't matter. This is standard. I have everything I could ever want on standard. Imagine needing stuff on standard. Let's see. What do I go for here? No, we're not going to do that. Can I get that here? Yeah, this will help. What is it? Yeah, I'm picking up intelligence at the moment. I guess at this point, I might go into Fortify for some more damage reduction, but I really just want to keep scaling damage. Yeah, we could work our way up to this physical cluster up here next. But let's go do a lab. And let me go ahead and pull up the lab notes for today, because I have no idea what the layout's looking like. Oh, super easy lab. Let's go. I gotta fix my notifications. It's all messed up. I haven't streamed in like a year. It's not, I don't think the plugin's working anymore, but thank you. We might want to actually do this, I'm not sure. Probably don't want to have a buff to Zaro. Let's play like it matters. Good job. It's a hard game. Alright, we want to go left. This is probably going to cut over anyways. Oh, is this the gauntlet? I hate that bug when you like leap slam and you get stuck in the environment. This is probably should be careful here. Alright, I think this is the gauntlet, so let's try not to get killed. Let's try not to be terrible at the game. Was that timeout on everything? Okay. Remember when Azaro used to be the thing? The good old days. Alright, now we are going left. Extra physical damage aura. It's nasty. I think this is not where I want to go. I need to set like a constant reminder to use my fucking Quicksilver Flask. Because I am terrible. This may not have been the way I wanted to go. That's fine. We'll just cut over. It's a normal. It doesn't matter. I actually have plenty of currency. I should be rolling my flask to maybe get a double tap on the Quicksilver. That would be not a bad idea. Make it over there? Oh, beautiful. I love it. I need to get the multiple totem support so I can get this thing properly linked. Picking up that shit, don't need it. Cannot take reflected fizz. Let's go. I probably honestly should roll a anti-bleed flask though on my life flask, because that's when it starts to get scary here. It's with that shit. Degen. What do I want to do? I guess grab that physical cluster up there. Kind of want that Fortify wheel though. Exploded corpses. Those are always fucking scary. It's probably this way. Oh, I'm terrible at this game. I never know where I'm going. Oh, there's that bleed that I was just talking about. Yeah, I think I'm gonna roll some flasks real quick. Really don't like dying to a bleed.
What do you want? Can we be of help?
And let's grab a mana flask. That'll do. And hey, 20 div, let's go. Why not? Sure, immunity to poison. Why not? And where's the mana flask?
Now, let us see if you truly understand what it means to be Nightmare.
Thank you. Unfortunately, my notifications are broken, so I don't know what that was, but thank you, thank you. It's been so long since I streamed. I'm a terrible, terrible person. Don't even know what my stream does anymore. Might be worth getting, yeah, I was gonna say an Enduring for right now. It's probably the play. Let's get rid of all this shit, because I have no room in my stash. My stash is maxed. Alright, back to it. Oh, I should have rolled my Quicksilver. Rip. Hey, look at that. No more dying to bleed. As long as I pay attention. Pop my flask. I even have an anti-poison too. It's fucking amazing. Oh, Piety. Damn, she fucking slaps. she like bug out? Oh no, she's focusing on the totem. That's hilarious. She was just focusing on my bro. Not gonna have that with war banners. Honestly, I should just focus. Burn her down. I always hate these like mini bosses. It's fucking, especially Chevron. She is something else. Deodry sucks too. Just all these mini bosses, they suck. They're like worse than the Act 4 boss. It's kind of funny. Oh god. That was close. I just started tunneling. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna stay in place. Whatever happens, happens. Alright, this one sucks. I hate this. Look at all of those books. Holy moly. Alright. About to hit Act 5. Let's go. Those explosion corpses are one of the scariest things in this game.
What a pleasure to finally meet you, Duelist. You and I will create the most beautiful of nightmares together. Let us bathe you in blood, Duelist, so that this world might be bathed in glory. Embrace your future. March.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss totems baiting slams. Like it's gonna be sad.
Let us see if you truly understand what it means to be nightmare.
Whew. That is how you don't play the game properly. If anyone was watching. going in. Fuck it. This is really shitty positioning. Alright. We got through it. That's all that matters. We got through it. Curious. I'm just checking something real quick. Okay, yeah, I'm not seeing the chat in YouTube. I apologize if people have been saying stuff. I have not been not seeing the people on YouTube. Are you going to interact with the new league mechanic when it first pops up? Yeah, so the league mechanic, yeah, no, I got two chat screens going on different monitors now. It's kind of fucking gnarly. Actually, I'm going to move this over to, I wonder why Streamlabs, oh. Hold on one second. Yeah, they have a multi-stream feature that should show like both chats, but it's not working. So I'm just going to pull the YouTube window over here so that I can read both chats, I guess. I'll do like a split screen nonsense. Yeah, so as far as like the league mechanic goes, I am not planning on engaging with that too much until probably I get to maps. I think I'm gonna push for maps as quickly as possible, and then like when I start to get tired, I'll start messing around. I don't know though, like, cause when I think about like the league mechanic, it's really like recombination. It's using that runesmith to put really insane OP unique affixes on your crafted rares. So like, I think the shipments could be nice and profitable, but at the same time, I don't know. Yeah, I try to like push as hard as I can the first day to get into maps, because I'm not the fastest leveler, and I really don't like the feeling of like not being at maps before day one's over. So I'll have to see like how involved the league mechanic is before I know how much of it I'm gonna do while I level. Yeah, the Atlas strat, I'm going for like essences. I really want to like those are usually a good way to make money. You can sell them on the currency exchange, and then ritual is just more like I enjoy ritual as a mechanic, so I really want to do something that I think will make sense for Cyclone, like being in a small confined area. And I'm hoping that the corpses will sell pretty well. And then also like you can get lucky sometimes with ritual and get some nice stuff. There's some like bases that drop in there that can be super OP and sell for a lot. It's not guaranteed, but hey, no problem, Erickson. Hopefully hopefully it works out for you. Yeah, some people were kind of pointing out that like after my starter version, like the mid game and the end game are like really expensive, and you know, and I'm like, yeah, the video was like a starter guide. I probably shouldn't have put the other versions of the POB in there. Like I probably shouldn't have put the let me fix my screen again because I don't know what I'm doing. I probably shouldn't have put those other versions in there because everyone's just skipping past the starter build and they're looking at like the mid-game crit or the end game, and they're like, oh, a Progenesis is super expensive, or oh, a Mage Blood is super expensive, you know, a corrupted Rhizolothos is really expensive. It's like, yeah, that's why they're in the later versions. I probably shouldn't have just included all that. I was doing it more for theory crafting about like where I'll be putting my money. Do you think you're going to straight to Resolute Technique? Absolutely. I've already taken Resolute Technique on this like practice run here. You 100% want like all of your hits to hit. Like, yeah, so like on my tree here, after I picked up some stuff at the bottom here, I went straight for Resolute Technique, and now I'm going to fill out this physical cluster, then probably grab the Fortify down here, and then start getting some life. As I get close to maps later on, we'll take all the block nodes up here and then go into Versatile Combatant, which isn't going to feel great currently because it's more of a penalty. But I want to try to get to maps on this before Friday so that I can have a really shitty set of gear with a 4-link on Cyclone and just see like what does it feel like doing white maps with like the worst possible gear and a 4-link. So I have like a good baseline for hopefully how much better it's going to feel on Friday. I like the other POBs. It tells me what I should be looking out for. Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, I like to kind of get an idea in advance of what I'm going to be going for. So like one of the first things that you're going to want to go for in the crit version is crafting a decent weapon. And, you know, you're going to need probably 10 Divine to make a really good weapon that's going to last you for a while. Because you can craft, especially with the change to quality, you can make a really high physical DPS staff now. But staffs are harder to craft than axes because they can roll all this like caster shit and stuff on them. Like making axes is so much easier. So like it's going to cost you probably like 7 to 15 div to make a really decent staff that we can use for a long time on this build. So that's going to be a huge upgrade. You know, getting diamond rings with life and resistance and stat rolls on them is going to be another big thing because that's like the crit chance off the rings will be really nice. So I kind of like to plan out the POBs in advance so I know, okay, like this is what I'm pooling my currency for from the first few days. Because making currency isn't hard in this game. Like the starter build doing a couple million damage is going to be able to do all content outside of like T17s and, you know, Uber Pinnacle bosses and stuff. So like really the goal is just to pick a farming strat and make as much Divine as you can, so then you can like start to push the build into really crazy territory. Like people think you need like 50 million DPS to play this game. You need 5 million DPS to do everything but like probably Uber Pinnacle bosses and maybe T17s comfortably. Because it comes down to like skill at that point. Can you avoid stuff? Like, you know, do you avoid Shaper Slams? Do you avoid Cyrus Meteors? Like, are you playing the game? You don't need, like, of course damage trivializes everything. But people seem to think like you can't play this game. Well, you're going to have to play the game if you don't have the damage. That's the answer that most people don't want to hear. They just want like an OP meta build, you know, and those are fun. But like if your expectation is for every build to be like one tapping bosses and stuff, then that's not how this game works. Not every build is going to be OG Penance Brand or, you know, Archmage. In these Cyclone builds I see that like scale 100 million damage have no like defense whatsoever. So yeah, you're a god until you take that hit and you get one shot. So like some people like playing Glass Cannon. I'd rather have a build that does like 30 or 40 million damage but also is super tanky and just doesn't die. And that's going to be an insane amount of investment just to get that. Because scaling defenses is expensive, just like scaling offense is expensive. I don't even know what I'm doing. Gain access? Okay, yeah. Not used to talking and playing this game at the same time. Yeah, it's like they're like, okay, like I made an 80 million Cyclone build. Okay, cool. And you have like no defense whatsoever. So as long as you can kill the boss before it one-shots you, like I don't like that. I just don't like playing glass cannon builds. Thank you. Good luck, Exile. Thank you. A nice budget version could be if you can get your hands on a coal mark there. Yeah, it's a good staff. Yeah, if you can get one for sure. The thing is I think like crafting a staff is going to be very easy though, because think about it. You get like contempt essences, right? We're already farming essence, so we're going to be having a lot of essences. You just roll some contempts on a staff. You're going to get that guaranteed add, fizz damage, and then all you're hoping for is like an increased fizz damage roll on top of that, or attack speed, and then you just craft like the remaining affix you need, and you're going to have like a 500 plus, maybe 600 physical DPS staff just doing that, because the quality scales the weapons so much better now. So like just getting like an 800 fizz DPS weapon is going to be what a 600 fizz DPS weapon used to be. Like they're not going to be that rare. And I was watching a video from Ziz. I think he was saying the math on it is like, prior to this current league, if you had like a 1200 fizz DPS weapon that was like a mirror tier item, right? Well, that's now they're thinking it's going to be like 1500 fizz DPS weapons are going to be like the mirror tier items. So rolling like an 800 fizz DPS weapon is going to be it's not going to be super common, but it's going to be way easier to get a much better weapon this league than you've ever done playing this game. Yeah, I just don't like dying, man. I don't like... the truth is, like... Oh, this shit's kind of rippy. What the fuck? What is... Just kicking my ass there. Yeah, the truth is, like... Once you get to, like, level 95 plus, dying just feels terrible in this game. The XP penalty is atrocious. So, like... I don't level many builds past 95. I think I usually hit like around 97. But like when you start to get that high and you're really enjoying a build and you want to like farm XP to get it out to 100, nothing feels worse than dying and losing 2 bars, because it's like, it's a terrible feeling. Like doing the math and knowing how many maps you have to run to make up that XP if you're not buying like Legion runs or whatever the current thing is to just like get a lot of XP. Typically, I like to have more life at this point when I get to Act 5 before I do Katava. We're kind of low, so maybe I should be putting some life points on the tree.
Orb of alteration.
Yeah, man, like when you die at like 97, it's like, it's a terrible feeling. I shouldn't be fighting these rares. I should only just be killing magic packs. Part of my problem with leveling slow is I just like see a glowy monster and I want to kill it. I know like it's not worth it. Like I should just be killing the magic packs and moving on. But like I see like the glowy mobs and I just want to kill them. Yeah, crit staff. It's going to be rough, man. I think the play is you're going to contempt a staff, right? And then I think what I'm going to end up doing is trying to get like 2 prefixes I like, and then doing a prefix can't be changed scour. And then at that point, you have several options. We could do like a can craft up to 3 mods, and then you can put like attack speed on it and maybe a crit mod and do something like that, and that will probably be pretty decent. But getting like both multiplier and crit chance on a staff, you might just have to get lucky with like spamming contempts. Because you could also get like the prefix and suffix you really like, and then you could, you know, do craft to multiple mods and then keep prefix and suffix, and then you could maybe veil the thing, risk veiling it like on a warlord base and get like something juicy, like increased area of effect or something, and then after that, then you could remove the crafted mods and then try to get like, you know, increased fizz on there or something. It's gonna be expensive. Double crit staff, yeah. I'll probably want to do like a warlord base staff because there is that one prefix that gives you increased physical damage and increased area of effect, and I think that'll be really nice for a Cyclone build. To get all 4 Void Stones day 1, 2, yes. You have to do Maven and Uber Elder. The thing about Maven is she's like Cyrus. They have degen on their fights that you have no way to recover from. Like, Leech doesn't work, Life Recovery doesn't work, Regen doesn't work. We're playing like a Leech build, right? We're even going to be running like a Writhing Jar, which I haven't updated that in the POB yet. I had those flash slots empty. But, you know, we're going to be running a Writhing Jar so that we can spawn the worms and hit them so that we can get our Leech going and our Fortify and stuff when we have downtime. So, like, the problem with Maven is degen. So, like, when you're doing the memory game with the beams at the end, if you get hit by one of those beams, you're going to die. Is it doable? Yes. But, like, day 2, I don't know, man. I don't think I'm going to have that day 2. I think, like, I might have Uber Elder down day 2. Depending on how hard I push, but like Maven, man, is kind of a bitch. It's all mechanics, like how well do you play. Anything is doable. If you got good mechanical gameplay, you can do everything on day 1. You can be Ben.
Or with alchemy.
I think if you can get into maps on day 1 and you're into red maps on day 2, you can 100% get all 4 Void Stones, but you're going to be gaming hard those 2 days, right? You're going to be playing probably like 16 to 20 hour days to hit that kind of milestone. Like, I'm expecting to have it done hopefully by Sunday, Monday is my goal. That way I can go into next week with just farming currency, just chilling and doing my farm strat, running T16s. The thing about like Uber Elder is not that bad at all. It's just Maven. Maven kind of sucks. Yeah, once again, I don't know why I'm killing all this unnecessary stuff. Just like to play the spin to win. The thing is too, like, I gotta look into it because I know there was some like essence farming strats last league where you specifically wanted to run lower tier maps. So I gotta like do a refresh on what like the best way to farm essence is. Thanks, did it on Spectral Froll last league, was curious about the average pacing of Cyclone, I was thinking. Keep in mind, I'm gonna just preface this, I guess I'll say this a lot, I don't play Cyclone normally. Like, I haven't played Cyclone as a build in PoE for probably like 5 years. I think Legion was the last league I actually played Cyclone when like everyone was playing Cyclone with a headhunter doing Legion, an actual Legion league. I think that's the last time I played Cyclone. So I don't really know what the pacing's going to be like. I know what the numbers look like on the POB, but this is also new territory for me. That's why I think I said it in the build video that like you know, as I play it, I'm gonna be feeling things out. This boss can be kind of sketch when he does his little like ball phase, and you don't hide behind a statue. Yeah, I suspect that Cyclone's going to feel fine for pacing, though. It's not like, I think, going to be a speed thing. It's not like, you know, going to be the quickest thing to progress the game with, but should be fine. Yeah, we might just start going for life nodes here, I think. Those hits, though. Jeez. Yeah, Kane's going to be a really good weapon, Vinter. If you want to pick one up. All right, well that was a ton of fun. Need a staff cluster with a Fortify on hits. Staff cluster. So the way I'm going to handle Fortify is we're going to take this wheel down here. We get additional stacks of fortification and some regen, and then we can take the melee hits Fortify right here, and that will that'll give us Fortify all the time. I don't know if you're referring to that or like a cluster jewel that does that. Oh god, I'm getting destroyed right there by those fucking... that rare. This guy's kicking my ass, dude. Why am I even going this way? Gotcha. One of the things I really want to do is look at cluster jewels a little bit better. I didn't really use any in my setups. There's so much I don't know about this game, even having put thousands of hours in. So, like, I gotta really keep tweaking things. Alright, starting to get some health. One of the other things I'm not going to do on this test run is I'm not going to run determination. So I already know I'm kind of at a disadvantage because the quality on my armor is giving me less than what we'll have. But once again, I really want to kind of keep this as bare bones as possible, so that I'm not doing anything really different than what I'm going to be doing. So I'm kind of using the totems right now, but I'm kind of treating like, you know, using one of the totems like having a war banner, essentially. It's called Overload, 30% increased damage with maces, saves Fortify for 6 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, I think like picking up a cluster jewel with that and getting rid of that fortification wheel obviously saves you some points, and then you can get some more damage from the cluster jewel. So I just got to really look at cluster jewels and see on like the other versions of the build when I want to scale things out. Alright, so what am I doing right now? We're using Melee Fizz with Pulverize, Cyclone, and Pale. Brutality is probably better. Because we don't get the attack speed penalty. We're not bleeding, so none of that matters. And then I wanted to kind of... I think having the both totems up will be better than just having the one. And I like having Falling Strike right now. So we'll do this. So we've got our skill, our buff. We got that. Leap Slam on life tap. That's pretty much it right there. And then we'll sell all this stuff. Cleaned up my stash earlier. It was a nightmare on standard. Yeah, so one of the things I'm kind of banking on is that we don't have to do spell suppression. And the reason why I'm saying that is with the new jewels for the Gladiator Ascendancy, we're going to have Lucky Block. So we're going to be at like almost 90% attack and spell block. And then the 6 endurance charges are giving us that 24% elemental reduction on top of that. So I think like spell suppression is no longer a thing you have to worry about if you're scaling block super high and you have the endurance charges. I think like once I get to that point of the game when I have that gear set going for T17 zooming, I think like we're going to feel really comfortable with almost 90% block on everything and the new endurance charges. Which makes crafting gear so much easier, because now we can go for straight armor bases, which is going to be really nice. And since we're taking Unwavering Stance, we can't evade anyways, so... That's like one of the reasons why I don't feel bad about not starting Expedition, because like if I felt compelled to have to go for spell suppression gear, ROG is just really good at getting you squared away on that within a few days. But we don't need that anymore, so I really don't want to do Expedition for like the 7th league in a row as my farming strat. Yeah, there's different ways you could do this. Like we don't, you know, Cyclone Shockwave, right? So you have to use like a staff or mace or something. But like you could just do like an axe Cyclone build. Crafting a physical axe is going to be so much easier. And then there's like different ways you could take Cyclone. But I really wanted to do Shockwave. So I was like, okay, I'll do a staff. And then I was like, well, if I'm doing a staff, we can do block. And Versatile Combatant is like amazing now. It's not shit like it is currently. So... why not try to scale block out and see how far we can push that? Where am I going? This way. How long do you usually take for axe? So when I play something I know, I usually take like 7 hours on average, which isn't super fast, but it's not like terrible. With this Cyclone shit that I'm trying, it might be like 10 hours, because, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it might be like a 10-hour run. But I go hard usually day one. Like I play usually 16 hours. I go all night long and then into the next day usually, and then I crash for a while. So we'll see. I mean, there's a part of me that kind of doesn't want to rush maps because, like,
Let us see if you truly understand
thank you.
what it means to be
There's a part of me that kind of doesn't want to rush maps because, like, there's all this. Why am I on the left side of this place? I can't talk and play the game at the same time. Yeah, because like they're adding all these Easter eggs in the axe, you know, apparently, and I kind of want to go find like these, you know, all the vaults and all the little Easter eggs and treasures they're hiding. I kind of want to just like take my time and chill with the leveling, to be completely honest. It's just really good to get to maps as soon as possible because you can really get currency rolling. But like, I don't know. Maybe it's just more chill to like do the league mechanic and, you know, make boats and stuff and, you know, build up your town and just level through the axe nicely and not rush myself like I normally do. Yeah, Betrayal is like super good in SSF for all the crafts. I also even usually pick that up when I play Trade League. I didn't do it in my tree this time because I'm so focused on the left side of the tree that I might just end up paying players for a craft if I need one. I think I would be shaping to Slayer in the late game, but leveling as Gladiator. Yeah, I mean, Gladiator could be a lot of fun as Cyclone. The cool thing about like playing Gladiator, maybe early game and not doing it like I'm doing, is you get the lucky block earlier on. So like you can really capitalize. You just lose some of the benefits of Slayer, right? Like, you know, the coal and all the damage. Like the thing is Gladiator's not really offering you a lot of damage. It offers you the insane defense with the lucky block, but unless you're playing like Bleed, and depending on what version of Bleed you're playing, like it may not even be good. Yeah, honestly, I probably should have just been using an axe right now. And maybe that's what I do on Friday, and then just go to staff once because I'm not even using the Shockwave gem right now, so. Which I actually should socket in Shockwave real quick and see how that feels. Noob question, but for the Cyclone build, is it fine to put all the skill support gems for Cyclone on a chest piece instead of weapon for early game? It doesn't matter. If you want to put your auras in your weapon or your or in your chest, it doesn't really matter. Like, there's a node on the tree, I can't remember if I have it in my current version of the starter, where you get like increased armor for every red socket on your main hand weapon. So like it might be better to put your stuff in whatever's going to give you the most red sockets on your weapon, because you could take advantage of that extra armor. Slayer's way better for Cyclone. Yeah. How long do you usually take for the axe? Okay, to be honest, 10 hours is still quite fast. Yeah, I think it just depends, right? Like some people are newer to the game and like, you know, getting to maps on day 2 is what they consider fast. But like for me, oh, I don't want to play Soul Eater, go away. But for me, like 10 hours feels slow at this point. You know, been playing this game for years, so like to me, like a comfortable pace is like 30 to 45 minutes an act. Like I feel like if you're doing 30 to 45 minutes an act, then you're like, that feels good to me. The earliest time possible to implement rage. I'd have to check my leveling guides on the POB to see when I start going into rage. Give me a second, because I thought this out earlier. So it looks like I start taking the rage nodes around this time. So around Act 5 is when I'm starting to go into rage on the tree. Yeah, you can do rage support in Act 2. I was actually using rage support earlier. But the reason why I'm not using rage support though is like it's not going to give you the increased attack speed or movement speed when we get into Friday. So like it kind of loses some of the value for speeding you up in the early game for leveling. But you could use rage support. But yeah, it looks like I start putting points into the generating rage on the tree around the 40s. How are we getting lucky block on Slayer? So yeah, answered the question. Forbidden Flame. Super expensive, not something you're going to do for a while, but that is the play, I think. If you want to go more defensive with a Cyclone build. Let's see here. Take some more life. I guess we'll take Unwavering now, so we can't be stunned. Might as well. And then let's see. Where is... there we go. Better staff. And yeah, we're doing 65-65 block, so we're taking versatile, and then we're taking all the block nodes for staff on the top left of the tree, and then we're running a Rumi's Flask when we're mapping to get us where we need to cap the spell block. Can you do Legion Blight with Cyclone? I don't mind to take an increased timer. Yeah, I actually am thinking about going into Blight once I get tired of Ritual. The problem with Blight is I think it's going to be very profitable, but the Scarabs are going to be very expensive to properly run Blight because everyone is going to be playing Blight next league. So like you can do Blight. I would just say do that with the expectation that, you know, like there's the one strat where you spec into the Atlas tree so that you only get one lane that generates when you do Blights. I'm sorry, it makes it so that bosses spawn on one of your lanes when you do Blights. And then there's the Scarab that makes it where Blights only generate one lane. So what people are going to be doing when their builds can handle it is they're going to be doing Blights with one lane that just spawns bosses, which is going to be super profitable. But those Scarabs are going to be very expensive. Legion is always good too, because you get a lot of currency and then you can sell emblems for runs. I'm just going to craft a new weapon real quick. That's good enough, and we need 2 red and a green, boom, so we'll just slot you in. Yeah, I would go to Tumult as soon as you get Stampede. That's what I'm planning to do. Like the first thing I'm going to be buying is probably a Stampede. As soon as I can get one. Let's Let's see how this feels. I kind of want to keep Pulverize in there. Cool, thanks for looking forward to your build. You earned a sub. Hey, thanks, I appreciate the sub, man. Hopefully it works out for you. This is a work in progress. I'm learning at the same time. But this is how I like to play the game, man. I like to, you know, I like to kind of do my own thing. I'll look at other things for reference, you know, to get an idea. But I kind of like to do my own thing in this game. My initial reaction was to like play a slam build, honestly, when I read the patch notes, and then everyone was playing slam, and I was like, man, I just don't want to do what everyone else is doing. Hoping it won't be too expensive since many people were planning to go for Blight. Yeah, I think just doing Blight is fine, but like I think if you want to do the most profitable way of doing Blight, it's going to probably be expensive to run those kind of setups, is my expectation. Legion's a really fun league mechanic. It's a super fun league mechanic. Yeah, I mean, you could run Cyclone of Tumult without the Stampede. I just really don't like the movement speed penalty that you're going to be dealing with. Yeah, you can use movement abilities. But I think, like, I think for starting out, like, I think normal Cyclone will be fine until you can get Stampede. Yeah. Well, I don't think a lot of people understand like how to make money with Blight, right? It's not like, you know, it's not like other league mechanics where you're just printing currency, you know, like it's flipping Blight maps, it's selling oils. It's not just like generating you like a ton of pure raw currency like other league mechanics. There's a bit more that you have to do with it. That's why people love Expedition. They love going to 2-gen and just having like a bunch of fucking currency that they can pick up. Yeah, see, I'm having to do some weird stuff right now on this tree so that I can pick up Leech right here because, like, we don't have the mana cluster over here. I would not be speccing all these extra points at the moment, but it is what it is. Blight was easy with the oil extractors. I don't know about now, though. Yeah, oh, that's fair. Yeah, the oil extractor is being removed. Yeah, that's a fair point. What do I want to do here? I guess just go for more damage. Send it. Low life Katava. Let's go. I normally have like 1800 life when I do Katava, so I'm probably going to get one shot here. But we can test damage out, I guess. Not too bad. Blight Ravage maps they're pretty scary, man, until you get a build that can run them. You gotta like know what you're doing with the towers, you have to have your rings crafted right, like, or you gotta have like a super powerful build that can just handle that. I don't know why I'm not putting my totem down. Oh, I don't have a curse right now. Why am I not running a curse on this setup? I should be using vulnerability. We'll fix that. I knowingly took that hit. I'm not gonna lie. I saw that being a bad thing. Mark on hit poachers. Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. I moved way too slow on that one. Risked it for the biscuit. It's okay though. Even with shit gear and a 4-link and low HP, pre-buff on the gems, wasn't too bad. You don't think about it much, but you don't have to worry about the reflect stuff. Yeah, that's true, because you get the no physical. I'm so torn between this build and a build I played last 2 leagues. Why is choosing so hard? Hey, go with what your gut tells you. Whatever build you think is going to be more fun, your gut knows. Is it practical or even possible to have faster movement speed than with Stampede? I don't think so when you're running Tumult, because the way Tumult does its negative impact on movement speed, you need to have like, I think it's like 350 or 375% movement speed on your build in order to compensate for how drastically it negates your movement speed. So realistically, no. Like if you want to run Tumult, like ideally you should be running Stampede. Yeah, I should, like, honestly, like, a mark on hit curse sounds way better than manually casting Vuln. But, yeah, after patch. Let's see. Let's go talk to Lily real quick. So, yeah. Mark on hits. Quality of life, let's do it. Let's recolor my gloves. Look at all these people testing builds. It's so exciting before a new league. Everyone's just like, let's figure out what we want to do. Alright. Let's go see how this feels now. Oh, look at that, dude. It's fucking beautiful. I should honestly turn War Banner off. Oh, I don't even have War Banner on. Yeah, see, look at that. I'm not even simulating having the buff from War Banner right now, which we wouldn't have with it on. So we're just running Blood and Sand, Flesh and Stone, and Pride, and then spinning to win. Yeah, so in my like Giga Endgame build, the idea is to have like the curse mod on your chest. So you craft with the awakened stuff, you can apply additional curse on your chest piece, and then you can do a bone, like a warlord ring with the bone on hits, and then you can do an assassin's mark, because we'll be crit at that time with a mark on hit. Or you could do Whispers of Doom on the Stampede. On my like crit version, I do a Whispers of Doom on the Stampede, because it's gonna be far cheaper to get 3 golden oils and do that than it is gonna be to create like a fucking awakened chest piece that has that mod. Yeah, someone was complaining earlier like, oh, it's gonna be super expensive to get 3 golden oils to, you know, put that on your boots. I'm like, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be like 70 or 80 C in oil, but like, that's cheap. Like, I don't know what people's expectations of what expensive is in PoE, but like if you think 70C is expensive by the end of week 1, then unfortunately you don't know how to make currency in this game. Like 70C is very cheap at the end of week 1. 70C is very expensive on day 1. So you should not be expecting to run Whispers of Doom day 1 on your boots, but if you can't afford to run Whispers of Doom on your boots on day 7, then you failed with your farming strat. Or you just don't know yet how to play this game. Yeah, people have this like unrealistic, like I was telling somebody else earlier, like it's going to cost you like average 10 div to make a decent staff. And they're like, that's so expensive. I'm like, no, it's not. 10 divine is very cheap. Like, it just depends, I guess, on your experience playing the game and how you know how to make currency. But, like, if you think a 10 divine investment on your main hand weapon is expensive, then... I forgot to kill a mob in Twilight Strand because I'm talking right now. Then, like, yeah, you're going to have a lot of issues, like, scaling builds in this game because stuff's expensive, man. Way more expensive than 5 divine here or 10 divine there. I think this league's going to be crazy for making money too. Like I think there's going to be a lot of different ways to make currency this league. You know, the problem when you have a league like with Necropolis is it's very hard to make money in Necropolis. I think early on I realized that flipping corpses, like particular corpses, was a very profitable way to make money because the crafting shit was just far too convoluted for me. So I ended up flipping a lot of corpses for like 1 divine a corpse, 3 divine a corpse. Where did I forget to kill a mob? Alright, I have to pay attention right now because somewhere on this map there is a mob that I did not kill. It's probably all the way at the top. Well, that's the trick, right? How do you make money without premium stash tabs? That's where they got you, right? It's a free-to-play game. Here it is. It's a free-to-play game, but if you don't want to invest that $20 for stash tabs, you're going to have a very bad time playing this game. I've played this game for so long, I have multiple of the stash tabs. So I have a maxed out currency tab. I had to get a second currency tab to start stacking my currency. I have to have 3 map tabs for all the maps I've collected. Like, yeah. How many builds you have created for PoE that you could call more or less your idea? Also counts if it drastically different build too. Yeah, so this is, I wouldn't say this build essentially is like my idea. Like Fizz, Slayer, Cyclone, Shockwave is a tried and true thing. I think like doing a block version with the new versatile combatant and then using the gladiator ascendancy is my take on it, right? Because a lot of people that play Slayer, Cyclone just go, you know, zug damage and don't care about defenses and like to play like a glass cannon. Let's get 1 shot every you know, map or something. So I'm going for a much more defensive take on it. But I did like I didn't really do a lot last league, but the league prior I have a lot of videos I released. I did like a Soul Ren build with poison. I did like a Frostblink miner. Which I thought was a pretty novel idea, doing a Frostblink miner. I made a falling zombie build with the falling zombie skill. It wasn't like super amazing, but it was memey and fun. And then I did a Bama build for Affliction that I really enjoyed. So I did my take on a Bama build. That was actually like my main build for the league. I was farming juiced Wisp T16 maps pretty hard with that build. Yeah. I actually really liked my Frostblink miner like 2 leagues ago. I thought that was a pretty novel idea when they introduced the Wintry Blast alt version of Frostblink. I thought that was a pretty neat little thing I threw together. Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. Like, I'd rather have a Cyclone build that does 30 to 40 million damage, which is more damage than you ever need in this game, but, like, isn't getting 1 shot constantly, than have, like, some 80 million, 90 million Cyclone build that, like, is a god until, like, all of a sudden an off-screen projectile kills you and you lose 2 bars of experience at 98, and then you just want to log because you're upset and don't want to play the game anymore that day. If you enjoyed Affliction, they're gonna have the Wildwood is coming back. I don't know how prevalent that's gonna appear. Like in was it T16s? It can show up in, I think. So I don't know how often you'll see it, or if there's a way to deterministically get it to spawn more. But yeah. Okay. Oh wait, why am I doing this? I should take the waypoint. Yeah, that's the thing with making builds, man. Sometimes you play them, and it's not what you thought it would be. You know, sometimes you play a build and you're like, this looked a lot better on paper. And that could be how this Cyclone thing turns out. I mean, I won't know. I think like the starter version is going to be solid. I just don't know afterwards how good it's actually going to feel with what I want to do with it. But I'm pretty confident, like, just farming T16s, Alkin Go, Scarabs, like, chilling, you know, the first week with the starter version is going to be a vibe, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. You could do a Cyclone Bleed build. Yeah, I'm just doing a traditional, like, Impale take on it. It actually would be pretty... You could do like a Gladiator block, Cyclone Bleed take. I don't know how good Aggravated Bleed will be. I haven't really looked into it. I know there's all this talk about how many attacks per second will determine whether it's worth going Crimson or it's worth going Aggravated Bleed. And yeah. Is it because the attacks per second are so high? What is it like? You want to go Aggravated Bleed if you have like a really slow... Ooh, I might die there. Yeah. Ooh. Spicy. You know what? I didn't check my resistances coming out of Act 5, so I also need to roll freeze immunity on a flask. That's a thing. Hey, I appreciate the confidence in the build, man. Thank you. We will see how it goes. Now, if this was the actual league, I would have been all over this Essence guy right here. Contempt. Let's go, man. Fizz damage. Three Divine on standard. I'll pass. Damn, dude. He's getting the shield, that's why, huh? When the totems are tougher than the boss. There it is. I mean, Rhizolatha's, I'll one day be able to pronounce that. I mean, it can drop. Yeah, I did slop in a Shockwave not too long ago. So like, it can drop while you're leveling. Also, a lot of people are freaking out about what the price is going to be. It's not a T0 rarity. Like it's going to be expensive, way more than it normally is, but I think people are kind of freaking out about like what the price of it is going to be, honestly. It's going to be more expensive for sure, but I will say this, it won't be the first thing I'm going for. The first thing I'm going to be going for is a Stampede, 100%. The thing about that belt, which is nice about it, is it's going to be like more expensive than usual, but you know that when you buy it, you're investing in something that like you're going to use the entire league. So it's like that kind of a comfortable purchase, you know, like whenever you pull the trigger on that, you're like, you're not going to feel bad about it because it's like, this is my bis. Like the only better version of that belt is like corrupting it with a Pride implicit, which will be super expensive, but like, yeah. Yeah, and then there's a div card for it too that you can target farm. That's going to be when you're like Gamba moneying, right? You're just buying the belts and then corrupting them to hoping that you get the Pride implicit.
Cha-ching.
I should kill these magic mobs. Always kill the magic mobs. With great Unga comes great Bahunga. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel like I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, this is a trap. It's a trap. Ooh, our first Delirium Mirror. I'm gonna pass. Don't need that. Use Astral Plate instead of a Glorious Plate. So that was me just being dumb. I haven't really fixed that in the POB. So like... Actually, no. That's not me being dumb. I'm tired. Sorry. So you get the resistances as an implicit on Astral Plate, which is really nice. Like we're starved for resistances on this build, especially when we get higher up with the versions and we start rolling in more uniques. So like having that plus 12 on the Astral Plate is just nice. The real question is so here's the real thing that we're not talking about, right? How expensive is Unique's going to be now that they've killed Magic Find from what it once was? Because like when you have like 100 players printing 80,000 of Uniques on trade, and that's not going to be as populated by those individuals anymore, like curious about the price of Uniques in next league, because I think Magic Find's obviously still a thing in group play, but I mean they really neutered the Empyrean experience of this game. So where am I even going right now? Oh, you would take a Lear. Does she still give the elemental resistances in the next on Friday? I forgot to like look deep into the bandits. That is fair. You do get the crit traditionally in the what resistances with her, which is actually kind of nice for a build like this. I don't know if it's necessarily worth 2 skill points though, because that's the problem with this build too. So one of the things that is happening with melee next league, yeah, rarity, not having the rarity is going to hurt. Or it's the quantity, sorry. But because they're adding so much more to the skill tree, we're kind of like starved for skill points on the tree. So there's that too. Yeah, now that you guys are bringing it up, I think like taking the LE resistance for bandits might actually be the play. I don't know though, because like on my starter build we're using a lot of crafted rares, so I don't know like how good the benefit is for elemental resistances. It's more beneficial I think later on, but like, yeah, I don't know. I think like because I'm gonna be able to easily craft resistances on all my rare gear when I start out, like I don't think Allura is gonna offer me that much benefit over the 2 points. Golden Hand is where we get the new skill point? Okay. I don't know what that was behind me, but I'm not fucking going back. But it looks scary as hell. It looked like death waiting for me. Do we know yet? Is like that crazy shit with negative stats going to be a thing again? Negative resistances and all that with Kalandra? Because that would be pretty nutty to see those builds come back. Stacking negative resistance. So, I can't remember, but isn't the Gold Hand quest where there's a lab that you got to do in the same zone, right? Because I typically do Golden Hand on my first playthrough because I'm in that zone anyways. I think getting the lab shit. Bro, we are destroying this guy. Holy shit, dude. Look at that damage. That is nutty. Mirrored heist rings? Yeah. Yeah, those are gonna be crazy. Honestly, I think with the Glad Ascendancy, it's gonna be expensive to get the Flesh and Flame, but I think that's gonna make the build feel super tanky, especially with the new endurance charges. That's my assumption. We get a better staff yet? Not really. What about better base types? Give me a flat armor chest. There we go, baby. Look at all that armor. What about gloves? Technically, these are better boots. Guess these are... that one. What is this chest? Could you imagine getting this while you're leveling? 52 increased armor and additional physical damage reduction. That's actually kind of nutty. I'm not going to lie. And we can roll movement speed on the boots. Let's do it. I honestly was trying to think about ways we could better scale the area of effect with Cyclone. Because, like, it's, to me, it's not going to be terrible, but I didn't see a lot of ways to do it on the skill tree that were within reason of where we're pathing. So outside of maybe swapping in like the increased AoE gem for when you're just mapping, like you're not going to need the damage, right? So if you just want a wider Cyclone, you could use that. But you already kind of get pulverized to give you increased area of effect, so it's kind of like, yeah, I know, right? So I play a lot of SSF, and I actually play quite a bit of Roofless SSF. So seeing a chest like this is actually kind of nutty, like a 700 armor chest. Like, a lot of people would think that's trash, but like, I kind of look at gear a little bit differently. Shockwave is the way you scale area. Yeah, because you get the plus meters to radius. Yeah. Let's go to hideout, because I need to actually look at crafting some resistances, I think. It's an extra 400 armor almost. That is nutty. Ooh, yeah, my cold and lightning resist are freaking awful. Alright. What level am I? 46? Okay. A little bit better movement speed. It's like the worst possible roll. And then, I don't think there's much else I can do with these rings. Yeah, we need to... This is how inefficient I am at playing the game. So instead of buying all my base types while I was in town, I go from the hideout to town, back to the hideout. What rings do we have we can choose from? Amethyst rings? Hell yeah. It's gonna make resistances a little weird, but we'll figure it out. And then we've got a turquoise. That's really nice. Thank you. Is there a good Cyclone MTX that wouldn't hurt FPS too much on a trash PC? I don't know, man. I have quite a bit of MTX for Cyclone, so I don't know which one of these I'm going to end up using. Illusionist is pretty good. Alright, what's my stats at? I've got 4% cold resistance. Not good. Not good. Let's fix that. Okay, that'll do it. And That's a crazy ring. Alright. Ooh, lightning resist. Terrible. But sure, that's a terrible suffix on there though. Now we're in the negative on lightning. It's a crazy time to be alive. The 10% lightning is just depressing to look at. I probably should change my loot filter down so I can actually see rares that are dropping, because there's chances that I'm just missing good stuff. Thanks for all the answers. Have a good night all. Don't exhaust yourself too much before the league. Thank you. Good night. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm getting kind of tired. So I might push a little bit longer, but my plan is hopefully to get to maps by tomorrow just so I can see what it feels like in white maps with like a very limited set of gear and gems. What am I doing? I can just do it this way. I just need to sim decent stats. Or can I do it this way? Jewelry. Let's increase lightning damage. That is not a thing. Alright. You could do Redeemer Explode Chest, or you can go for the negative 15 cost socket. I think the negative 15 cost socket might be the play, especially considering like the mana changes to Tumult, and you can save a lot of points on the tree. It's not great, but we can figure it out later. Actually, we'll keep Brutality. Then we can also roll you. Might be too low level to roll anything but these shit mods. So maybe we just do plus charges so we can use it twice, and that's fine. Yeah, I mean, what I did, and obviously Sunder is definitely gonna feel probably really good. Yeah. I did like Frostblades and Double Strike until I swapped to Cyclone, but I swapped to Cyclone really early, and I don't think that was probably the best play. You can also go crit early if you want to. I think going RT and into maps is probably a better play until you have like the gear to go properly crit. Because to me, like playing low crit feels worse than if I was just playing RT. Like, you'll need to make sure you have a precision leveled up, and you're gonna have to respec your tree to get the points.
It's fucking awful.
It should be like off to the side here, I think. Alright, let's see how scary this guy is. Oof. Should be the phase there. Okay, and then we should be able to go back this way. What I need to do is grab that. I need to grab some more life, I think, at this point. Yeah, I think we'll go for more life now. Let's see. What we got on the tree? Let's bump this guy up. And we'll go for this armor life right here. Okay, actually, before I forget, let me fix my loot filter. I kind of want to see lower drops. In case, like, just some decent rares drop, so I don't have to keep just YOLO crafting shit every so often. And then you guys get to hear my annoying loot filter. You're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. You're probably gonna hate it. Block is insane, my dude. It is definitely the play. Let's go get our skill points. And then now I think I'm going to go for the Fortify wheel, just so we can get that going. That'll be nice. Okay. Well, block kind of got buffed, right? Like if you factor in the Flame Jewels, Flame Flesh with Gladiator, like if you go that way, it's super OP. But as a general, like yeah, specifically block in and of itself didn't get buffed. It inadvertently got buffed. Yeah, 65-65 is better, and then if you can get that lucky block from Glad, whew, it's insane. Yeah, and then endurance charges. I like how like they're doing a melee league, but they're not just buffing the skills, they're buffing defenses. Like, cause one of the things about like PoE for the longest time has been, it's been so unforgiving to play a melee build, especially when you're bossing. Like to stand still just feels bad in this game, and it's felt bad in this game for a long time. So to give melee layers of defense where if they gotta stand still for a moment, it doesn't feel like the worst possible thing you could ever be doing in this game, is kind of nice. You can 100% layer in suppression, it's just not necessary. The problem is like, you could still do like dragon skill armor and go down that path if you wanted to. There's like just another layer of defense, but you don't have to anymore. And the 65-65 is going to make it feel better than when you had the 50% spell suppression. But like that used to be something, you know, like I used to play witch builds back in the day for minions, and I would go 75-75 block, and then I would go full spell suppression on top of it. And then that felt good. So like, yeah. It's just the reason why spell suppression's been such a thing, especially with melee, is a lot of melee builds didn't use block at all. And so they would just throw in spell suppression as an extra layer on hybrid, you know, gear pieces. We want to go north here. Hey, our first expedition. know, like this. You know, like the no recovery. I should probably stand in this so it completes. Expedition feels really bad on the build, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, when you do that, like the big nuke node on Expedition, you can spawn some like really rippy mods. Yeah, that's why I'm not doing it. I think Ritual is gonna just be a ton of fun. Just spin in a small circle and kill shit, and then get a loot screen. Like, I'm for it. Farm essences on the side for passive currency gen.
Cha-ching.
When are they gonna fix this bug, dude? Did I not get the map? Please tell me I'm not an idiot. No, light the beacon enter. Yeah, I have the... When are they ever gonna fix that? I hate that you have to, like, run away from it. Run back to it. So let's see. I've been streaming for 2 hours now. I started in Act 4. I'm almost done with Act 6. So, like, about an hour an act right now. I mean, slower than I normally do, but I'm also playing a build I normally don't play. So there is that. It's gonna be all the way down here probably. Yep. Alright, I've got like no lightning resist, so this should be fun. Ooh. That's fair. I should use the MTX, huh? I'd like to live on the dangerous side. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Doesn't really give me the melee vibe, but it's pretty. This is completely unnecessary, by the way, but I always just click all the glowy things. It's just something I do. Something I do. Ooh, that degen though. Yeah, once you get that, oh, I hate this. The lightning totems. Yeah, once you get like the area, it's gonna be nice for sure, because you have more of a space between you and the radius. Yeah. What's the really like just annoying one? Like this one right here, you're not gonna see shit. You're just a saw blade. And then you've got the blue Cyclone, I think looks pretty nice. Doesn't give you visual clarity, but Celestial, man. We might just go full Celestial meme. Yes, it does. It always bugs me. It will forever bug me. Yeah, I do agree that Illusionist does look pretty nice though, once it's going. We just need more area. What's up, Alva? My favorite thing to do in Ruthless. Celestial is a vibe. Like, honestly, I kind of really was liking the Celestial. I might just go full Celestial memes. The old thing to do with MTX. Just Celestial everything. Yeah, I will be waiting until I get Stampede to switch to Tumult. I have Shockwave. Do you have the Shockwave? Yeah, I have it. Socketed. Oh. Oh, Celestial Shockwave MTX. I probably don't. I probably should get it. I think the last time I played Cyclone, Shockwave was not a thing. Oh yeah? I don't know if I have enough points right now. I might have to throw them some money. I'm going to be buying the supporter packs probably this weekend, so I'll get a ton of points from that. I can throw some towards the MTX. But let's see. I might have a few points. I got no points. There is no Celestial in the store. Did they remove it? There's an Apollyon. Is this what you're referring to? You want to go this way? Alright, so one more skill point and we're going to have always uptime on Fortify, which will be amazing. It's kind of obnoxious in the best way. Crossroads. Couldn't see anything else. Yeah, I might pick it up and see what it looks like over the weekend. So much to do, so little time. Where is the fucking... It's all the way over here. Okay. Let's get it. Failed the DPS check before he could teleport. What a shame. Okay, and then I think we're gonna head this way, probably. Oh my god, I forgot to talk to him. I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. It's crazy. There it is. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely feels good so far.
Cha-ching.
Oh, let's get it. I'm so excited. We now fortify. We now have fortification. It's beautiful. It's amazing. More defense, let's go. Oh. I'm thinking it's Act 2, like a boss is about to spawn. Crazy.
Cha-ching.
Alright. Almost done with this act. Is that a soul eater? My guy. I need you to calm down, sir. Might be time to craft a new staff. Alright, at this point, let's turn in the rest of this stuff. Just talking to NPCs. We need to go to Helena. What do I want to do here? Let's bump this up to the next tier. Guess we'll start working up to the staff nodes. Yeah, I feel like leaping and cycloning is gonna be the play. That makes sense. Rip, no staffs. Okay. I will be right back. Alrighty, let's take a look at something real quick. Yeah, now that I'm doing this, I feel like because especially not getting into the axe or not getting into the staff nodes until, I mean, basically, we're still not even there. I think axe until at least Act 8 is probably the play, because then we can go into these damage nodes over here. Just get some extra damage while we're leveling. But the damage feels so good, I don't even know if it's like really even a concern. Like, we're going to have even more damage on the weekend, so... I am getting pretty tired. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna finish out the act and then probably call it for tonight. I think tomorrow get this to white maps and then just kind of see how it feels. So I have a good expectation of what to how much better it'll be on Friday. Tomorrow I might try to get some levels in and just maybe throw in some crit gear and see what that feels like too. We'll see. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and get all the fireflies. Yeah, if you check the POBs that I've updated in the description on my build video, I have reworked the starter and mid-game version to have 0 cost again. The most notable thing was we had to drop like Death's Rush on the starter and go for the mana cost reduction on another rare ring. Yeah, it's not a bad play, Venter. But we're gonna get Rage on hit anyways from the passive tree, so I don't know. The Onslaught would be nice for sure. Because at this point, we will have, at least I will have gone on into Rage points on the skill tree. If I didn't have to be at work super early tomorrow morning, I would probably push all the way to maps tonight, but I don't see that happening, unfortunately. Dun 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 dun. Where are all my fireflies? Carried by that bang and level at the same time. It's amazing. You know, the one thing I am sad about right now is because I haven't bought the supporter packs yet, I'm not getting the Harpy flyovers every time I level. That is going to be something I really look forward to on Friday. Such an amazing idea for an MTX. Where's the den? Where's my mini boss? Did I already pass it? I did. I killed him already, didn't I? Wow, that's how you know I'm tired. I killed this guy and I forgot about it within 2 minutes. Crazy. I think this might be the last Firefly. Dope. Okay. Yeah, it is fair. I am going to be going hard this weekend. We have 2 points. Yeah, we're almost done. We'll finish out the act and then wrap it up for the evening, I think is going to be the play. Yeah, tomorrow I also need to like decide on what my MTX is going to be. Big decision. I've got to look good while I kill monsters. Otherwise, what's the point?
Cha-ching.
Think this is the right way? Feels like it's the right way. Let's go. Yeah, overall, I think I'm pretty happy with how this feels, considering it's about to get some massive buffs. I think leveling's going to feel pretty good. I think I will probably wait to swap to Cyclone until a little bit later, and probably level it with an axe until, like you were suggesting, Act 8 or 9. And I think that's probably going to be my lesson learned from doing this. The real thing I got to figure out, and this is actually the most important thing, is how can I play music while I'm streaming without getting flagged on YouTube? Because on Twitch, they'll just turn off the sound on my VODs. So I got to figure out the technical way of it, me being able to listen to music and enjoy it while streaming and not get YouTube angry at me. Have to look into that. There's a way to do it with splitting sound channels and stuff. On League Start, go Kane with Fizz and crit chance. Yeah. I don't know. I think like if I can get a Kane, sure, I'll go into crit. I wonder how expensive they're going to be. I suspect I'll be going into white maps with Resolute Technique. I'm fully expecting that. How soon I switch over to crit I think is going to be how quickly can I get what I need to go to crit. I always hate finding this waypoint. And there's like such an easy deterministic way of doing it, and I've never memorized it. There it is. Alright. I meant to spec that. There we go. When are you going to make this Cyclone switch and leveling? Yeah, I did it pretty early. I think I did it like end of Act 3 going into 4, but it really hasn't started feeling good until after Act 6. So I think like probably Act 6 is when I'll swap to Cyclone. It really depends though, because the skills are getting buffed, they're going to do more damage, and we're going to have mana nodes that are closer on the tree to where we start, so I'm not going to have to path so far out of the way to get mana sustain. So like maybe swapping to Cyclone Act 5 even will be okay. I think I did it like end of Act 3 today, and it just didn't feel as good as it does right now. I need to check how early you get Shockwave. I can't remember if it's level 31 or 38, but that might be like actually when you make the swap is when you get Shockwave. I think once I socketed in Shockwave, it started feeling really good. Alright. Where is my escape from this hell that is this zone? There it is. I'm gonna level with Sunder probably. Yeah, I mean Sunder is gonna be pretty good. I went with Frostblades. I thought like it felt really good for clear when I was doing it. So I think I'm probably gonna do Frostblades and Double Strike and then swap to Cyclone. Probably Act 5, Act 6. Honestly, I might just do it Act 6 when Lily opens up and I have access to all the gems. That's probably when I'll make the swap. Yeah, swapping to Act 9 or 10 is probably like the reasonable thing to do, but I just want to play Cyclone. I don't care if it makes me level a little bit slower. Is it still fun with Headhunter? Like, I'm not gonna lie, man. I think you can craft Headhunter on your weapon now, though. I think that's the thing with Rune. So, imagine that world. We run a Mage Blood with our flask set up, and then we just put the Headhunter on our weapon. Like, that's pretty fucking gnarly, you know? Or, I don't know if it's you craft weapons and jewelry with the rune smithing, so maybe you put the Headhunter on a belt. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look at the VOD, because I know it was mostly weapons I saw on the rune smithing thing. I can't remember if there was like a ring or amulet icon.
Cha-ching.
I can't remember. It's probably this way, yeah. Look at all those gems I just leveled. Cyclone's always been amazing with Headhunter. Then we'll pick up these life nodes next. Bum, bum. Leap slam, so nice. So nice for getting around the map. Alright. Act boss, let's go. I'm either going this build or memeing with a retaliation bleed build. Hey, you know what? If you want to do the retaliation, man, go for it. That could be pretty fun. Oh wow. Look at that misclick on that jump. That was really fun. Alright. Well, now I know I can't survive that. Chaos damage. Whew. Be strong.
Now, let us see if you truly understand
Thank
what it
you.
means to be Nightmare.
It's another thing I gotta add to my to-do list. I gotta fix my notifications so I know like what is happening, because I forget what I set the sound effects to. It's been so long. Ooh, that's fair. I should be using my Pantheon. Yeah, we have unwavering stance, so I guess we'll just take this for now. Alright, let's go into town. And then I think that might be it for tonight. So Act 8, I started on Act 3, end of Act 4, in just under 3 hours. It's not too bad for leveling. Not too bad at all. Could be a lot better.
Sick socket.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for tonight. Thanks everybody for offering some feedback. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of a demonstration of what Cyclone looks like. Feels pretty good. Yeah. Feels pretty good as it is, I'm not going to lie. Like, considering, you know, I'm using a shitty staff and just like crafted rare gear with life and stuff and resistances, like, you know, typical flash setup. Like, it feels fine for leveling. So like, it's going to be super OP on Friday. And yeah, tomorrow I'll get to white maps. I'll run a 4-link Cyclone with really scuffed gear just to see what it feels like in white maps coming right out of the campaign. And then that'll give me a good idea of what to expect on Friday in terms of how much better it should be. So yeah, I'm going to probably be streaming a bit in the afternoon and evening tomorrow whenever I get off work. So yeah, if anyone wants to see what it looks like, I'll be around then. Otherwise, have a good night, and I will catch you all later.